going to be, along with my colleague Kyle Jans, we'll both be media attaches at the Winter Olympics in Cortina. And we're thrilled to have all you with us, particularly, of course, our national mixed doubles team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant, along with their team coach, Lainey Peters, and our national coach, Scott Pfeiffer, as well as our director of high performance, David Murdoch. I'm going to ask all of you, please, to mute yourselves if you're not asking questions. And what we'll do is we'll have you use the raise hand function. If you wish to ask a question, we'll ask you to identify yourself as well as your media affiliation, ask a question, ask a follow-up, and then we'll go in line from there. So with that said, we are recording, as noted, and if you wish to ask a question, you feel free to raise your hand right now. And we'll go with Don Leslie.
Okay. Well, good morning, and wishing you all the best for the upcoming Olympics. I was just wondering Don Leslie with 99.3 County FM in Prince Edward County, Ontario. I was just wondering, there's been a lot of discussion about the venues in Milan, and I was wondering if you've had a chance to see the curling venue and at what point you can start practicing before competition begins.
Take that.
Yeah, we've seen, I guess, World Curling posted some pictures and updates, but yeah, we have kind of full confidence that everything will be ready by the time we get there. And we don't get on the ice until kind of the day prior to our competition beginning. So we're doing some training in Italy, not in our competition venue prior to.
Yeah, we're familiar with the ice making crew for the event, and we know that it's a really talented ice making crew. So we don't really have any worries about the ice being first class, world class ice. So that takes a lot of the I guess anxiety out of what the ice might be like, especially with I know Greg Owasco's one of the Canadians that's leading the ice making team. So that's gives us a lot of confidence knowing he's involved with the process.
Did you have a follow-up, Don?
No, that was good. Thank you very much, and wish you all the best.
As an FYI to all, the curling venue will be in Cortina. It's been used for curling many times in the past. In fact, David Murdoch has curled there in the past, and Lainey Peters was there last year with our junior teams at the World Junior Championship. So there's a great deal of familiarity with the venue. We'll go to Rachel Brady next.
Hi, thanks to both of you for doing this. I guess you'll be off pretty soon. You've both had experience. I know Brett will be the one juggling double duty here, but what have you learned, I guess, in the past from instances where you've had to juggle both that might come in handy here? And I guess also, what advantages does it bring to have an early look at the ice in the mixed doubles that could pertain to you later on in the men's competition?
Yeah, it's something that we've kind of both gotten used to, I guess, over the last 10 years. We've played a pretty heavy men's and women's schedule, each of us, and scheduled our mixed doubles really around the gaps in those schedules. So usually we're playing back-to-back weeks, either it being a men's event or women's event followed by mixed doubles. And so that preparation is going to be helpful for me. The beauty of this setup is that I get to play in the exact same venue back-to-back weeks. Normally you're playing one event, you're traveling across the country, you're playing in a different venue, a different event, and then following that up, maybe going elsewhere. So the fact that I get to play in the same venue 2 weeks in a row is going to be great for the men's competition. And yeah, like with the amount of curling, it's the men's schedule is actually, I would say, quite light when it gets to that competition. It's really more or less one game a day. There's a couple 2-game days. We have one day off in that competition. We got a great physio kind of chiro team coming with us to help the body feel rested, refreshed. So I'm just looking forward to getting to curl for close to 20 days in a row. That's pretty exciting for a curling athlete who loves the sport. So it's a pretty cool opportunity, and I'm excited for it. And how cool is it to do that on one of the biggest sporting stages?
If I could just ask a follow-up, I wonder what your camp will look like when you arrive and where you'll be and what that will kind of look like, what you hope to accomplish at your pre-Olympic camp.
Yeah, we leave on the 27th and arrive on the 28th, and so we'll be training in Burnaco. We have kind of a two-sheet curling club to ourselves, so we feel pretty spoiled. Curling Canada has put a lot of effort into setting up some pretty ideal training conditions, and yeah, we've tried to mimic our practice schedule around our competition schedule, and focusing on getting on the time zone there and training around our game times, and yeah, a bit of technical practice and a mix of also kind of some game simulation and scenario stuff. And we'll do that up until we leave for the village on February 2nd. So we have an excellent support staff that's kind of worked with us and coming together with our ideal training week leading up to it.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go to Greg Strong.
Hey everyone, question for Scott Pfeiffer. Scott, I'm just wondering, when you think back to Pyeongchang in 2018, what your takeaways were from the Olympic curling crowd at those games and how it might be different from a traditional curling event.
Yeah, it definitely is different going in and seeing the Olympic rings on the ice and all the different fans who are in the crowd. You have a lot of friends and family that are there, but a lot of other curlers who may not be traditionalists at an Olympic venue. So you can always expect oohs and ahs and claps when you miss shots. So it's a little bit different. I mean, Brett and Jocelyn have played in front of a lot of crowds. At the last Olympics, there was no fans, or there was, but they're all kind of separated from us. So it's a different experience where you don't have friends and family there. But fortunately, they have a ton of experience playing both in front of crowds and at the Olympics. So I have full confidence that they'll be prepared for whatever's thrown at them.
Nice. And just one quick one for Jocelyn and Brett. NHL players are back at the Olympics for the first time in 12 years. And I'm just curious, when you look at the hockey situation, do you feel that has maybe soaked up a little bit of the oxygen in the room when you look at other sports and how, they're in the spotlight here once every 4 years, and a lot of talk is on the NHL players. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't say soaked up the oxygen. It's cool for us. I mean, the Olympics is an elite event where you want all the best athletes in the world. So, the fact that we have the best Canadian hockey players on our team is pretty cool. And I don't think we're looking at any downside to that.
Yeah, I think it's bringing some great attention to the Olympics, whether it's hockey or, other sports. I think more eyeballs on the Olympic Games and more talk about the Olympics is great. And as a hockey fan, it's pretty exciting that the best on best are going to be competing. And, I'm looking forward to kind of just following along, as in our downtime and, rooting on the Canadian team.
Nice. Thanks.
Let's go to Jason Simmons. A reminder to identify yourself as well as your media outlet for your questions.
Jason Simmons with The Guardian in Charlottetown. Question for both Brett and Jocelyn. Can I just get you to talk about what it means to be able to experience being teammates in the Olympics as husband and wife?
Yeah, it's really special. It's really been a goal of ours to compete together at the Olympics since from day one of curling together, and that's kind of when our relationship as a couple began as well, as when we started kind of competing together. But we really we formed this team when Olympics was introduced, or when mixed doubles was introduced to the Olympics for the 2018 year. So I asked Jocelyn if she'd be interested in playing some mixed doubles together, because I thought we'd be a good team. And then kind of a relationship came, and then we were successful teammates right off the bat, and we finished third at the Olympic trials in 2018, and I believe we're the #1 ranked mixed doubles team in 2022, but we were just ineligible to play because we were going with the men's and women's teams. So to really come through in that Olympic trials last January, and to earn that right to go to the Olympics together. That was a major goal of ours that we've been working towards for 9-10 years. Pretty special that we can do that and go to the games together with our families. And there's a lot of athletes that would dying to be in our shoes, I think, right now. So it's just, there's a lot of gratitude there that what we've been able to accomplish and that we get to do it together, create these memories and share these memories as a family. It's an unbelievable feeling.
Jason, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I was just sorry, Al. I was just going to ask Jocelyn if she could comment on the experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what Brett said, but yeah, I think, as a couple and in a relationship, becoming parents together, and it's special to kind of think about that and how much we've been through together and how much we've supported each other through, life changes and a lot of things. So to kind of have that background and that amount of kind of love and support, in our relationship on the ice and off the ice, it's special to kind of, have that bond and that support for each other when we're competing.
Let's go to Ian Gustafson.
Hi guys, Ian here from Patterson Media and RD News Now here out of Red Deer. Jocelyn, I just had a question for you. We were recently looking and noticed that you yourself are the only Olympian out of Red Deer in Central Alberta. Just wondering if that carries any extra weight and what it means to you to represent Red Deer at the Olympics.
No, I don't think it carries any extra weight. I think, I have a lot of pride being from Red Deer. It's such an incredible sporting community. There's really a great group of volunteers and people who are passionate about curling and passionate about a lot of sports there. So, I'm honored to represent them. I think there's a lot of incredible athletes from the Red Deer area. So no, it doesn't carry any extra weight, but hopefully that can kind of continue and maybe there'll be some future curlers from Red Deer down the road.
And then just one follow-up question here for any of the coaching staff that may be here on the call. I guess what makes Jocelyn and Brett such a force to be reckoned with, I guess, here on the world stage?
Go for it, Lainey.
Okay, well, I could say a lot about that. Brett and Jocelyn are both just incredible athletes. They both take such care to hone their craft. They're so dedicated, and they work so well together as a pair. And just there's a ton of respect. There's a ton of support. It's such a pleasure to work with athletes like Brett and Joss, who put so much into the game, and it makes my job and Scott's job pretty easy because they're just so willing to do whatever it takes. So that's a total pleasure. And then just as human beings, I mean, they're both such great humans. So it really is fun for the four of us to be able to go to an event of this magnitude.
Perfect. Thank you. Good luck, guys. We'll be rooting for you here in Red Deer.
Go to Ben, and I apologize in advance if I don't get this right. Ben Hoppy.
You got it. Well done. Ben Hoppy from the curling group in Rock Channel. When four-person games are in arenas, we often see the off-sweeper communicating non-verbally. But with mixed doubles events typically being held in curling clubs and without a crowd, how do you plan to navigate in what could be a loud environment with just the two of you?
It's honestly, it's one of the bigger challenges, right? It's as a sweeper, you're kind of trying to do a few things at once. You're trying to sweep and manage the rock. You're trying to communicate, and you're trying to judge where it's going to end up. So it's you have to wear a few hats out there, and sometimes you have to figure out what's the most important skill to be doing at the time, and can you do a few things at once. So it's honestly, we talked about that. We just played in a curling rink that was pretty loud and echoey and tough to communicate in here this past weekend. And we talked about strategies for communicating best we can, and yeah, we have some hand signals. Like we know how to communicate non-verbally. That's not a problem, and you know, we can be really loud when need be too. So, but it's you just have to adapt to your environment, and I think our experience plays into that. We've played in really loud environments before. You know, we've participated in really important shots where the crowd is just, you know, on their feet, standing, where there is no communication really happening verbally. You just have to rely on your kind of your senses to communicate. And but yeah, you're right. It could be a big challenge. I remember hearing things about Vancouver Olympics when they were all metal bleachers, and you know, the foot stomping on the metal bleachers and how loud it would be. And so there's always things to prepare for, and those things that might be more challenging at a different venue, but adapt best we can. And that's the nice thing about knowing each other so well. I think the communication, you know, if you have a partner, you kind of know that there's ways to communicate non-verbally out there, right, to get your message across. And you know, Joss and I, we have 10 years experience of that too. So
Excellent. No follow-up questions. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you.
We'll go to Francois LeBlanc.
Here I am. Okay, I have two questions. One for Brett first. Can you tell me a little bit more about how will you manage the energy for to play all this curling for the duration of the Olympics? Will it be hard? Will it be a challenge for you?
yes, it'll be a challenge. It's a lot of curling, right? Like it's not going to be you know, without effort to, you know, remain rested and recovered. But Curling Canada has brought on Kim Richardson as a physiotherapist that's been working with the athletes for the past 2 seasons, which has been a huge help. She's come to all our major events, all our Grand Slam events, our World Championships, our Canadian Championships. So I've got a good relationship with her, and she's been helping manage my body during these large events, which is great. You know, we're taking some precautions, we're taking some steps to make the Olympic Village as comfortable as it can be. It's kind of a bit of a glamping setup in Cortina with some trailers, some module units. So we've kind of taken a few steps to make sure the beds are going to be comfortable, things like that. Make sure we're getting good rest. And you know, we've been doing this a really long time. So we've been playing in these long events before. You know, the Brier and World Championships are very long events, and playing, you know, going from a World Championship to a mixed doubles event, etc. So that experience and just knowing when to shut down and knowing when to activate the brain, there, you know, there's got to be a little bit of an on-off switch to maximize that recovery. So it's just using those skills that we've learned over the years and managing. You know, kind of you're managing most of the hours of the day to determine when it's time to rest, when it's time to recover, and when it's time to go and be all in.
Thank you. Jocelyne, est-ce que tu veux répondre en français à une question?
Oui, je peux essayer, oui.
OK, merci beaucoup. J'aimerais savoir ce qui fait de Brett un bon coéquipier dans cet événement-là.
Tout. Oui, c'est tous les skills. Il est vraiment fort. Et ça, c'est vraiment important pour le double. Mais je pense qu'il est un des meilleurs dans le monde à comprendre la glace. Pour nous, pour mettre le brume dans la propre place, ça c'est vraiment important. Et il y a seulement 2 personnes sur la glace pour figuring that out. Et Brett, je pense, c'est un des meilleurs dans le monde.
Merci. Quel va être votre plus gros défi là-bas aux Jeux olympiques?
Quelle équipe?
Quel va être votre plus gros défi, the biggest challenge? Quel va être votre plus gros défi?
Je ne sais pas. Le double, c'est beaucoup de fun. Toutes les équipes sont vraiment, vraiment fortes et on on sait qu'on a besoin d'avoir vraiment fort avant toute la course.
Ben, merci beaucoup. Non, c'est très bien. Je vais pouvoir tirer quelque chose de ça, c'est sûr. Merci.
Let's go to Peter Reimer.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Peter. I'm from the Canada Games Council. I have a couple questions, starting with both Jocelyn and and Brett. You both attended the Canada Games and won medals there. As proof of the high performance pathway that gets people from the Canada Games to the Olympics, what would you say to the next generation of athletes who are currently training for the 2027 Canada Game?
Yeah, the Canada Games is special for me. I think, you know, when people ask kind of what was that switch of when I really wanted to become an Olympian, and I think playing at the Canada Games was that for me. My first Canada Games was in 2011, and you know, I was in high school, I was in grade 12, and there's you know, a time in your life where you can kind of go down a few different paths, and you know, what one option was, you know, not a sporting pathway in high school, and you know, a lot of partying and things like that, and I was curling, and I was going away to compete at this big event, and when I got there, you know, everyone there is elite in their sport and working really hard and training in the gym and practicing and eating healthy, and those were their goals, and that's kind of when I was like, this is the group I want to surround myself with. Like, these are the people I want to be with, and I want to do whatever possible to continue to compete at events like this and surround myself with like-minded people. So I think, yeah, just take everything you can from that event and really absorb being part of a multi-sport event, and you know, just, yeah, learn from people who are at the elite level of their sport. Even if it's not the same sport, we're all working to kind of be the best we can, and you can learn so much from each other.
I just say the Canada Games is really the closest event to the Olympic Games that I've ever competed in. So it simulates there's a lot of similarities, and you do feel like you're part of a bigger team. There's this bigger sense of community because you're competing along with you know, the other athletes from your province, and you're kind of trying to you know, you're cheering them on, you're trying to do them proud, and there's this real sense of community and group effort. So I think that is really similar to what the Olympic Games are, just in a national sense rather than provincial. But it's a great event to test yourself against the best in our country, and that is, you know, when you're a teenager, what a great experience to develop for the future.
Awesome. And then just quick follow-up, do you have any specific memories from your time competing at the games in Brett 2007, Jocelyn 2011, or 2013?
I specifically remember losing to Jocelyn's brother in the semifinal. But I got him back.
You get reminded a lot, though.
About 10 years later, I got my payback on the golf course. So, but no, it's yeah, I just remember, yeah, the competitiveness of it, and you know, I remember how badly we wanted to, you know, bring a gold medal actually back to our province, and you know, there was disappointment of you know, falling a little bit short of that goal, and then you know, in our sense, we had played in a bronze medal game and we were successful in winning that bronze medal, and you know, it's ironic maybe that's a similar path to what happened at the Beijing Olympics for myself and Team Gushu. So it's, again, you talk about similarities between the Canada Games and the Olympic Games, and you know, the memories you have, but yeah, it's, you know, I'll never really, those memories of that event I'll probably have for the rest of my life. So it's a big event.
Yeah, I just remember having the most fun at the event, and even when we went to the Yukon to watch my brother competing against Brett in 2007, and then when I had the opportunity to go with my teammates in 2011, we just wanted to make sure that we were really taking advantage of the opportunity, and we just had the best time. yeah, so many great memories. And then we lost that final, and I remember we were absolutely crushed, and we were all hysterically crying on the podium getting our silver medals. And Colleen Jones was there, and she was the one who kind of gave us our silver medals. And yeah, I was bawling, and when she gave me my medal, she said, I had to win a lot of silver before I won any gold. And that sticks with me. I remember that, and remember Colleen in that moment.
Amazing. Thanks so much for sharing.
Go to Todd Salehoff.
Todd Salehoff, Calgary Sun, Calgary Herald. I guess that said, Jocelyn, what both you and Brett have had the chance to go to the Olympics, and one of you was on the podium. How does that carry over? Where does that drive you from 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think obviously we're motivated. We really want to be on that podium, and but we obviously know it's our goal. It can't be kind of the only thing top of mind. We're just working really hard at being fully committed to our preparation and having no regrets and making ourselves proud. And we know if we do that and we stick to our processes, we're going to have some good results. And so that's our primary focus right now. It's just having no regrets about our prep, and no regrets about sticking to our plan and what we know works for us.
Yeah, we're ready. We're prepared. We're ready to go. We've played together, preparing for this moment for a long time. So it's just about seizing the moment now, and the work's been put in. We're ready to go, and I think at this moment we're just excited to get started, and we're feeling prepared. And we just had our final tune-up event this past weekend. Things went well, but you're still learning even from that event. Moving forward. So it's just this feeling of let's go get them, and let's just show the world who we are.
The team your support team off the ice, on the ice about the curling. You talked a little bit about that. What about how does it set up with your family and everything off the ice in terms of who's going to be there and what their roles are? I mean, obviously you guys are going to be have a lot of support there. How does that feed into what you're doing as well?
Yeah, it is crazy when you think about how confident we feel, and that's because of the support we have. And the list is crazy long, like you said, in terms of Lainey and Scott and their actual support on the ice. And then so many others at Curling Canada have provided so much support. Renee in terms of our video analysis, and the list is crazy. And then our family support. My parents and Brett's mom have supported with Luke since the day he was born, and that's really the only way we've been able to continue to compete in mixed doubles, is we're both away at the same time, and we need them watching Luke. And they've done it from the beginning, and they're going to do it for us during the Olympics. Luke will be staying kind of in a big house with my parents and Brett's mom, and then also my siblings and an aunt and uncle. So he is well taken care of, and we have full confidence that they're all going to have a great week and really enjoy it. And we're never really worried about him or his care. He has so much fun with all of them, and he's so used to being in their care. So we're looking forward to sharing our Olympic experience with our parents and also with Luke. So it works out great that we can kind of have everyone there.
Thanks.
We're getting short on time. We'll cut it off after Greg Strong's question, so we'll get through the existing 6 raised hands just to manage expectations. We'll go to Jolene Latimer.
Hi, Jolene, and this is for Rock Channel. Couples questions. I know you already answered a few, but just a couple quick ones to add on to those. So, Brett, I know you said that you asked Jocelyn to curl in mixed doubles. I'm curious when the crush started. Was that before you asked her, or did it develop after?
I'm curious too.
I guess it's hard to put a timing on that. Like, we know, I knew of Jocelyn and had, watched her compete and watched her curl, and I felt like we had similar skill sets. And honestly, that's kind of what brought us together, is that I thought we would be suited well to to compete together. But like, when we formed a team, then we started talking a little bit more, right, about what's thinking about competing together and what's that actually going to look like. And so we got to know each other a little bit better then, and it was just kind of a seamless fit for us, both on and off the ice. And honestly, it just kind of evolved naturally, and we don't even know when our first date was, because it might have been a curling event, it might have been a lunch or a coffee, and or
leading up to.
we just don't even really know. But it just kind of became this one big thing, and here we are. Sorry, that doesn't answer your question at all, but
No,
that's how it
very
happened.
vague, very ambiguous, but that's okay. I'll take it. For both of you, what's something your partner does in the sport, maybe after a win or after a loss, that makes the sport feel more sustainable for you in the long term?
For me, like, some of the things that Jocelyn does off the ice. Jocelyn's really started a curling program at the University of Calgary following the last Olympic Games, to try to build the sport and grow the game for the up and coming developing curlers, the ones that are coming from junior curling, and try to get into men's and women's. And she started this U of C Dinos program from the ground up. She got a lot of family and community support to help make the program successful. Lainey's been a coach of our Calgary Dinos team, and it's in the 4th year now, and our men's team are Canada West University champs, and our women's team is qualified for the U Sport Nationals. So, but this program didn't exist 4 years ago if it wasn't for Jocelyn. So she's done a lot to help grow the game, help give back, and it's people like Jocelyn, and it's people that want to grow the sport. And for the up and coming curlers, that's what's going to keep our sport going, and that's what's going to power the future.
But for you specifically, but that was a great answer, and you don't have to re-answer. But Jocelyn, for you specifically, like, is there something that Brett does that makes you think, okay, I can get up and go again tomorrow? Because it's such a commitment to be a high performance athlete.
I think Brett is very good at kind of parking a win or a loss and being very present. I mean, he works on that, but he's always been excellent at that, and I think that's why we have such good balance. Like, people are shocked when I say we don't really talk curling much around the house or around the dinner table. We don't, and I think that's why it's sustainable. We really do, like, as much as we're a curling couple, when it's not time to have a pregame or a postgame meeting, or or when we're not at a competition, we're just enjoying each other's company and every aspect of who we are outside of curling. And I think that is why we're able to commit so much of our lives to it, because it's not all consuming. We're really good at parking it and being in the moment and just being with our son. And I give Brett a lot of credit for that.
Last question, and this is just a practical question because I honestly have no idea how it works. Do they have couples housing in the Olympic Village, or are you expected to have your own little setups?
I think generally it's kind of one gender in each room, but we are pretty confident we'll be able to have our own little hut. So single beds, like, they don't put the beds together, but we'll at least be kind of in our own little building.
Cute. All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's go to Bernie Benoit.
Hi, thank you. Hi, congratulations. Big fan from London, Ontario. Question for the whole team. Is there any planned meet and greet events for while you're playing or while you're there?
Like, leading up, or?
I can speak to that. I think the Canadian Olympic Committee will be organizing a Team Canada event in Cortina during the event. Apart from that, it's kind of a games that is kind of detached from all the venues, right? Milan, Cortina, Livigno are quite far apart, so there's not any kind of central gathering place for celebrations such as that. So yeah, but there will be a Team Canada celebration of some sort being staged in Cortina. We're still awaiting final details from the Canadian Olympic Committee.
Okay, thank you. I'll be in the stands cheering you on. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go to Joe. You're muted, Joe.
I know. Am I unmuted? Sorry, Joanne Courtney, CBC. I don't do a lot of these. First of all, congrats, you guys. It's going to be so exciting to watch you. Looking at the field, 9 out of 10 teams, I'm not surprised to see on the podium at the end of this thing. Like, the competition level is so high. And you guys, your chemistry is like outstanding. It is so much fun to watch. But I want to know, like, what does it look like when you go to the bad place, and how do you help each other get out of it? Because in mixed doubles, things can spiral so fast, and you need everything to go right. And like, that to me is one of the hardest things of the sport, because it's so easy. Like, you got no one else to lean on except for each other.
Yeah, and it's something, you know, we're always working on and we're talking about. And yeah, like you said, it's crazy. There's only five shots each end, so that bad place can't last too long, or it can really spiral. So, you know, we've been really working on that, and Lainey has been super helpful with that, and having her kind of out on the ice with us has been a great support. And then even, you know, she's been working with us on just celebrating what we are doing well, and you know, making sure that we do that at the end of every end, because fairly often we are making some pretty good shots, and it's easy to focus on that one you missed, especially because in mixed doubles they pounce all over it. So really, yeah, focusing on kind of all the things we are doing well and how we can carry that forward, and making a point of talking about that and celebrating that frequently, and at the minimum at the end of every end, and keeping that top of mind.
I just had one more about Lainey specifically. When, and maybe Lainey can answer this one herself, just wondering, like, when she came into the fold with the team, what her roles and responsibilities look like. Obviously, Jocelyn, you've got an ace honor there, having played with her in the past. So just kind of looking to see what Lainey's role is with the team.
Yeah, I think we were meeting kind of the fall before the trials, and just talking to Lainey, and I was saying, you know, I want to win this event, and we're playing in this event to win it. And she's like, well, can I join you? And we said yes, absolutely. And she's been a great support. She does a lot. She's doing a lot of rock tracking for us, a lot of scheduling, and just keeping us kind of on our program, and keeping us on track. She's just super detail oriented and organized, and we've come up with kind of very specific game plan, and Lainey's helped put that in the most beautiful chart you've ever seen, and and she's got that handy at moment's notice. And we're always kind of tweaking that. So she's kind of the game plan girl, the organizing gal, the rock gal. She's got a lot of hats.
Yeah, in mixed doubles, with the only two of you on the team, it does sometimes feel like you're playing a lot of roles. And I think the nice thing since Lainey's come on is anytime she sees an area where she can help out, or she can take a little bit off of our plates or off of our workload, she stepped right up and said, listen, guys, I'll handle that. I'll put this into a document, or I'll schedule this out. I'll just take a little bit of this off of your workload. And it's allowed us to focus a little bit more on just execution and enjoying the sport, and being able to go out there and compete at our best. And that's, as an athlete, you can't ask for a lot more than what Lainey's brought to us.
Love it. Thanks so much, guys. All the good vibes your way. We're rooting for you back here.
Thanks,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Let's go to CBC PEI.
Hi, it's Nancy Russell from CBC PEI. Brett, you mentioned some of the people from your families who are going to be attending. Who from PEI is going to be there?
Well, my mom, Kathy, and my dad, Peter, and stepmom, Leanne. My brother, Christopher, and his partner, Renee, are coming. My aunt, Dawn, is coming. I think that's all of our PEI contingent. but it's pretty special. You know, my father was at the games as a coach for the Korean women in Beijing, so I was lucky to have at least some family in Beijing, but to not have and Jocelyn was there competing as well, but you know, it's strange when you're at such a large event and you don't have that family support that's normally at those events with you. So I'm excited that they're coming, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in the stands. And
My parents are 6 month Islanders as well now too, so you can
Oh,
add them
okay.
to the list.
Great. And what does it mean to be representing? You're representing Canada, but you're also representing PEI. What does that mean to you, Brett?
it's very special. You know, it's you know, obviously a smaller sporting community, and I grew up looking up to other island athletes, whether they were curlers or whether they were in other sports doing amazing things. Like, you know, I looked up to Suzanne Bird in curling, and when she was competing on the world stage, and then I looked up to athletes like Heather Moyse and Jared Connaughton, who were competing in the Olympics, and you know, Dave Eli, McEachran, and you get behind kind of the athletes who are representing the province, and they are inspiring the next generation. So if I can, you know, just show, you know, another upcoming island athlete that, you know, if you have big dreams and you put your mind to them, you can achieve them. That'd be pretty special. So yeah, you just, in the back of your mind, you know, you really want, sorry, you just want to do them proud. Sorry.
Thank you.
I had 937 in the pool, so well done, Brett. You got past that. Thank you for getting my joke, Joss. Let's go to Carrie Gillespie.
Hi, it's Carrie Gillespie from the Toronto Star. Thanks for taking the time. I just have a quick one for Brett and a much lighter topic, so no fear there. You mentioned taking steps to make the beds more comfortable. Can you tell me sort of what you're actually doing on that, and also what you're taking or what else you might be doing to kind of upgrade your glamping lifestyle in Cortina?
Yeah, I think, well, Dave, our high performance director, I think he actually did a little research, and he got us some just mattress toppers, really, but they're what cyclists that travel all around, you know, like say travel all around Europe or all around the world for their events and sleep in a different bed every night. It's like a mattress topper that they would use so that, you know, the beds are comfortable and they, you know, they feel the same. And there's just uncertainties that you don't know what you're going to get right when you get over there. So you're just trying to take precautions to make it comfortable. And, you know, Joss and I, when we travel to like this, we take these sleep out, blackout blinds with us, you know, because you never know. And we just plaster those over the windows so it looks like a cave.
Our own pillows.
Earplugs, white noise. You know, we're kind of veterans at this in a way, but you just prepare for anything, and we know even you guys all know how important rest and recovery is going to be over there. So we're coming prepared. We're going to have an extra suitcase full of our, you know, comforts, and it's going to be important. You never know what you might need.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greg, I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you're closing the show here, so these better be good questions. Greg Strong.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Al. Question for Scott Pfeiffer. Scott, you've coached and competed all over the world. This is obviously a unique venue in Cortina. What do you make of it? And how does it compare to other international venues where you've either played or coached?
Well, fortunately for us, unlike Hockey Canada, our venue's been around since I think the mid 50s for one of the Olympics. So it's been there for a while. I know Dave Murdoch and a few of my friends competed in the 2010 World Championships there. So it has a good track record and history of being used as a curling event. I think the only modifications they've really made to the venue is putting in some change rooms. And they've had a test event there the past year. Lainey was there as a coach. All of us have done site visits, so we feel very confident that the arena is going to be in great shape, and the curling venue is going to be 100% for our competition. So there's not a whole lot of concerns there, although there's always things that are unexpected when you go into those things. The area that we're in Cortina is fabulous. We're gonna love glamping and spending our time in a mountain village. It's a little bit different for curling. Normally we've been in the main cluster, so this will be pretty unique, being with the sliding sports and skiing, a little bit different from the last few that we've been at.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that wraps it up. Just want to thank Joss and Brett, Lainey, Scott, and David for participating today. We will be en route to Europe next week. Just as an FYI, we'll be distributing other availability options with our 4-player teams. Those will be coming out later this week, so you can look for those in your email inbox. For those wanting a recording of today's call and transcription, please shoot me an email and I'll send you links later today. Again, thank you all. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.